going to build pianos. I'm going to build all this other stuff. Be a be a complete shop guy, or transgender use of the word guy, man or woman. It's amazing. I love it, and I love you know. Yeah, you can let everybody in, Ethan.
Yeah, we're just trickling in here. People are joining.
Awesome.
May I say hello to David?
Hey,
Go for it. You can chit chat for a minute.
Hello, brother.
Yeah, we
Hey,
met.
David, it's your partner in crime.
12 in Holland.
Yeah. How are you, man?
The European Piano Tech Convention.
That's right. In 2012.
Yes, exactly.
I remember. Hi,
Yes.
man. How are you, brother?
I'm fine, thank you. And I met you too 2 years later in the PTG convention in Atlanta.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
I remember that too. Wow. See what I mean? This is a community.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Chris, how are you doing, bud? Hey, Nick.
How's it going, man?
I'm good, brother.
Doing
This
well.
is my
David.
Hey, Chris. Thank you so much for showing up. Hey, Donna. How are you, my dear? Nicholas Morello, my lovely partner and collaborator, who you're going to see on these movies today. So welcome, my friends and my brothers and sisters. I've found something else about pianos that I just love to do. For a long time, it was a struggle for me. And then I took a class with Leroy Edwards about 20 years ago. And another class with Fred Riedekop, who's a wonderful concert technician from Winnipeg. And they encouraged me and challenged me to set aftertouch by feel. And Leroy went so far as to say, well, that's how we're teaching it at the Little Red Schoolhouse now. We used to teach it by distance, and now we feel that we can get closer to what a player feels is exactly right through feeling it. So, you know me, the old rock and roller, anything I can do by feel rather than another frickin' tool, I love it. I love it. And some things you got to measure. But as Eric Johnson said in the class right before mine, the specs are the beginning. Every piano is different. Every piano, there's a little bit different sweet spot of each regulation point. So this class is an excuse to challenge everyone to make the aftertouch and the key travel on the pianos that they maintain, the good grand pianos that they maintain, feel like a Fazioli or a Steingraber or one of the first pianos that ever blew me away in terms of aftertouch was a rebuilt vintage Steinway by Richard Davenport. They all had the same characteristic. Man, the aftertouch, the notch, whatever you want to call it, the bump, felt just beautiful, small and firm and crisp and nice. It was really good. Then I found out very soon after that players, even though they didn't know what it was, were really used that escapement and then down to the key travel, that last push when the jack escapes from under the knuckle as a gauge to play at low volumes. I mean, big time they use it. So why are we doing this class? Because
Can I cut in here and give an official introduction now that we've filtered in? There's been probably 10 people joined since you started talking about it.
Yeah, please.
That's fine. Let's do it. Yeah, even more people are still rolling in.
Right.
So let me grab this and Yeah, a brief introduction. David Anderson, owner of David Anderson Pianos in Los Angeles, has been a professional musician, recording artist, and piano technician consultant for nearly 4 decades. He's a popular and active instructor with Piano Technicians Masterclasses, co-host of Piano Tech Radio Hour, and has been an industry leader for many years. Today he's going to talk about the secrets of aftertouch, aka the keys to success. And I'll officially turn it over to you now. But that was a nice little warm-up.
That was good. Thank you, Ethan. And before I go on, thank you for this. Thank you for partnering up with me for years and years and years on various things. And I love you. I respect you. And I'm awed by your production capacity and your strong sense of the rightness of things and morality. And it's a pleasure to be working with you. And it's a shock and a pleasure to be in the company of all these other human beings that I consider to be masters. And I feel like a stumbling apprentice, compared to Eric Johnson and Wayne Ferguson and Alex Kirsten. But here I am, and I'm going to do my best. So why this class? And I want to welcome every single human being that's here, because as I always say in my classes, I'm really glad to see you because you're the top tier of my craft. And I love hanging out with people that want excellence, that people that are in the top tier because they want to learn more. They want to raise their game. And so happy that you're here. There's a real lack of high-end instruction, in my opinion, on really the atmospherics. Regulation is voicing. And aftertouch cannot be made unless the piano is really precisely regulated and set up. So we're talking about something that happens at the end, after the action is positioned in the key bed, in the key cavity, after all the shanks are bent and traveled and angled, and all the hammers are made into the strings. And then the regulation sequence starts. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all of that. With practice and confidence, this method that I'm going to show you which is not that different from anybody else's method, but it does have some different things. And it's really good to break it all down with anything. It's fun. Setting aftertouch has turned into less of a fear-based, oh my God, I'll never get this right, to, wow, this is fun to do this. This is fun to pay attention and feel the end of my finger and realize it's much more sensitive than any other tool in the world. And that I can set a precise aftertouch by feel, and a precise anything else by feel. Truly good aftertouch is really good for your own confidence, for your own sense of like, wow, this is good. I can do what the guys at the end of the line on Fazioli can do. I can do what the Steingraber guys can do. Awesome. I can do what Richard Davenport can do. Awesome. Took me a long time to get to this point because it's a matter of attention. Like, you have to be excited to some degree about this work if you're going to get really good at it. You just have to be excited. So let's define what aftertouch is, okay? There's two definitions that I can give you. One is a technical definition, and one is a kind of an ethical or cultural definition, or a definition of why it's useful for players. The first is mechanically, it's a safety factor. It's enough distance after escapement of the jack from under the knuckle.
1 second here. Is anybody else getting a little bit of clipping from him? Or is that just me? No?
Maybe.
You guys are all good?
Yeah, maybe it's just you. I don't hear
It's
any
good here.
distortion.
Okay. All right, good.
All right.
Everybody's good. No problem.
All right. Thank you. It's a safety factor, and it ensures that the jack pops all the way out from under the knuckle and has the room to get back under for the next hit. That's technically what aftertouch is for. As far as the player is concerned, how the players use it is deep control at piano, double piano, and triple piano. And I've talked to a lot of players that never even knew, oh yeah, there's a bump at the end of the key treble. Yeah. Wow. How does that affect you? And he said, well, it's magic. It goes away when you play a little faster, but when you play slow and soft, you can gauge your volume and your expression off of that, off of that pause in the key treble, that pause before the final, throw. And solid, sacred, precise key treble and aftertouch give players an immediate, way beyond vocal, way beyond what they can express to you, certainly in their limited nomenclature, what I call kinesthetic confidence. It's like, yeah, I feel safe on this piano because of the feel of the touch, among many other things. And again, I'm assuming, and I'm going to go through, this is just an excuse to set the regulation, to get the whole regulation of the action in very, very precise condition. So can you put both the next card and the movie in little boxes?
Sure. Give me 1 sec.
So for those of you that have seen me over the past 2 or 3 months at Radio Hour, you've seen that I was bald when you first tuned in, and my hair has literally popped out of my head in the last couple of months. I fought and defeated cancer over the summer, over the summer. All right.
How's that looking? You got the...
It's fine. You got to get to the right... Yeah, fine. Get to the right card on the deck.
Next slide? Okay,
no,
go for it.
About 2 slides, I think. Yeah, again. And again. There you go. All right. Start the movie, please. So this is the piano we're going to show you the stuff on. A Bosendorfer 200 that's for sale. That's sitting in my living room in my residence. I've got another building out in back that has 5 or 6 more pianos for sale. So we're gonna show you how you set aftertouch. This is when you're all done with the regulation that we're going to talk about and show you. And here's what the tools that I use to set aftertouch: punchings, a blow distance measuring device, a ruler, a 10 millimeter Yamaha dip block, a long handled capstan wrench, and some tweezers. The basic naked raw tool crew you need for this job. So the first thing we do is to set key travel, and always set it a little more than, now he's measuring the blow distance, because that's the first thing I do when I come up to a piano, if I'm going to do some regulation and eventually set the aftertouch on it. I want to know the blow distances. Hey, Nick, how are you? That's Nick Morello, ladies and gentlemen. And he's now sticking that long. Yeah, he's going to take it out. Let's show it out outside the piano. And look, everything has to be pause the film, brother. So Eric in the last class was talking a lot about on your knee. Well, a lot of times when you slide an action out on your knee, the key travel is different. So I use the, can you rewind maybe 15 seconds? There you go. So we use the cheek block and put it under a place, either under the front rail or along one of the cross members, where it will, you can let it go now. There you go. Where the key travel will be exactly the same as it was. And the let off and the drop will be exactly the same as it was. There you go. And so that let off is regulated at about a millimeter, maybe a little more than that away from the string. Then the drop is where it feels right. Okay. So he's showing you, I'm showing you that this piano has to be in really close regulation for setting aftertouch to mean anything.